You're watching the Sports Channel, part of the British Sky Broadcasting Network.
Very good evening to you. Welcome to tonight's main event, which this Thursday is back on the trail of Kingston's basketball adventures in Europe. Now then, we had been hoping to bring you coverage of Kingston's latest game, which was away to the defending champion Split of Yugoslavia. However, things haven't quite worked out as we had planned. You see, the match was televised by the Yugoslavians, okay, but it seems that nobody thought to record it. Well, every cloud has a silver lining, because what that means is that we now have an opportunity over the next couple of hours to look back at the Kingston campaign so far, and we're going to do it in the company of one of the country's top coaches, Jeff Jones of the Manchester Giants. Jeff, thanks very much for joining us. Have you been following Kingston in Europe?
I've been keeping a close eye on them. I think anybody that's a basketball fan has been really, I think, impressed with what Kingston have achieved. It's been a David and Goliath situation for them, and they've done remarkably well. So obviously, if you're an enthusiast, you're following them pretty closely.
But what has been the sort of the feeling in the sport? Because obviously Kingston are up there. They've won the league yet again. They're the side that everybody wants to beat. Is there not just a part of you sort of a little bit happy when they come unstuck because they're not quite as good as they think they are?
Well, I think so. I mean, that's the competitive nature of the sport. But obviously, when they're not competing against my team especially, I'm not really that bothered. I wish them all the success. And what they've achieved in especially the European Cup has been really quite phenomenal, and it's been a big boost to English basketball as a whole.
Right, coming up over the next 2 hours then, a variety of emotions. We're going to be experiencing the highs and the lows with Kingston in Europe. And I guess the best place to start is right at the beginning. Kingston were in this season's European Cup because they'd won the Carlsberg League the year before. They started off with convincing wins over the Dutch champions Den Helder, and then moved on to their next opponents, CSKA Moscow. In the first leg at home, they scored a resounding 93-77 win, with Alan Cunningham leading the way with 26 points. And although they lost the return leg 72-74, they'd done enough, and Kingston were through to the quarter-finals for the first time. In fact, not only was it Kingston's first time in the last 8, it was the first time any British club had made it this far. And when you look at those 7 other names that they were rubbing shoulders with, you'll see that getting to this stage was a major achievement in itself. A brief word about the format of the competition at the quarter-final stage. Each team now plays each other twice on a home and away basis, with the top 4 in the final table going on to the semi-finals. Just how tough life was going to be for Kingston was immediately brought home to them in their first game when they travelled to Greece to play their national champions Aris Salonika. Nothing, it seemed, would go right for Kingston. Their shooting was off, while Salonika's wasn't. Kingston trailed right from the off, and time and again were hopelessly exposed. The match was the superb Nick Gallis, and the final score, Salonika 103, Kingston 90. Was this a sign of a trying 4 months ahead for Kingston? Well, Jeff, I guess there are many people who could have thought of better places to start than Salonika, which is a bit of a lion's den of a place to go and play your first European quarter-final game ever.
Yeah, the Greeks are pretty passionate about their basketball, and with about 5,500, 6,000 of them breathing down your neck. It's pretty much a baptism of fire for the Kingston players.
Now, I mean, they lost it relatively badly. Do you think that was just they were outclassed? Was it inexperience, stage fright? What do you think went wrong?
I think a combination of maybe a little bit of both, of inexperience from some of their younger players that were on the squad, but also a little bit of, well, you're in with the top 8, and you've got to earn the respect of not only the players that you're playing against, but maybe some of the officials. And away from home, that's a very difficult thing to do.
Yes, that's something certainly we've picked up on throughout Kingston's run, is that they haven't had the rub of the green. And I know that Kevin Cadle has often said to me, well, you know, until we're established here, the officials are always going to listen to the bigger boys who know, who've been around for a little while.
That's quite true, in the sense that you really have to excel to, I mean, for Kingston to get to the Final Four, they would have had to excel extremely well early on to get the respect of not only maybe the officials and referees, but also of FIBA itself. So, I mean, you know, they made the name for themselves, they made their mark, and hopefully the next British team will be a little bit easier for them. I've got to tell you that Kevin Cadle still ranks, he's got a shout. When I spoke to him the other day, he said, we're not out of it yet, we still might qualify. They certainly have to win next week against Maccabi, but they have 2 very extremely hard games away in Barcelona and Italy. And the thing that really is against Kevin is the fact that it's so tight at the top for the 4 spaces, and everybody will be coming in here now respecting Kingston enough to be giving it their best shot. So a defeat in the opening game, and for their first home match, the fixture computed in them no real favours, because who should the visitors be but none other than Split from Yugoslavia, and they were the defending champions. Now, for safety reasons, the match was played not at Kingston's home stadium at Tolworth, but at the National Sports Centre at Crystal Palace, and we can now have a look at how the 2 teams lined up. Kingston looking to their powerful trio of Bird, Cunningham and Clark, who served them so well in the Carlsberg League, while Split have the formidable Tony Kukoc, the European Player of the Year, in their ranks. Well, now, unlike the game against Salonika, Kingston actually played out of their skins on this particular evening. They trailed by just a single point at half-time, and we'll now join it late in the second half, Split leading 76-75. Your commentators are Simon Reed and Dan Lloyd.
But here's the man who might sway it, Alton Bird. Cunningham. Yes! Cunningham up to 15. Kingston by 1. A minute and a half to go. Probably 3 shots left in this match. 4 maybe. It's going to be a split ball. Parazovic.
Great hustle by Alton Bird there. Great hustle to go for the dive for the ball like that. That's just what you want to see. And you see Lorenzo Duncan back out on the floor. So you got a great defensive lineup out there, which is just what they need. Keeping pressure on the ball at all times.
Alton Bird, normally such a cool customer in a crisis, but recognized a desperate situation there.
That's right. And an unfortunate thing here, they don't give them another 30 seconds on the clock. They only have 14 seconds to take a shot. So that's to Kingston's favor there.
Fetenovic. Naglic. Counting it down. Just 4 seconds left on the clock. They might run out of time. No, they don't. And Martin Clark has the ball. A minute left. A minute 7. Kingston by 1. Could this be the biggest upset that an English club team has ever inflicted on a major European side? Alton Bird, Clark. Kingston taking their time, looking at the clock. There's 10 seconds on this shot. 5 seconds left. Clark. Kukoc takes it. There are 35 seconds left. Over here is Fetenovic. This offense could clinch it.
Kingston got to play that D down here.
Up goes Kukoc. Was that a foul against Cunningham? It was. A foul against Alan Cunningham. He doesn't like it. It's the 5th foul. Kevin Cadle absolutely furious. Cunningham is going off, and it's a 1-on-1. And the bad news is, it's Kukoc who's got the 1-on-1.
Well, Tony Kukoc hasn't been doing all that well from the free throw line tonight.
So here he is then, Tony Kukoc. It's gone! And a foul surely against Sretenovic. Yes! And Kingston need just hold on to the ball now. Absolute jubilation. They don't need to shoot. 77, 76. 77, 76. And look at the concentration now.
There it is, going for the rebound there. Great physical effort there by Martin Henlon to keep 15 out of it. Go for the ball, foul on the loose ball there.
Timeout now called by the split coach, Jelko Antisevic. Here's Cable.
Now, we're going to get on the free throw line and we're going to make 2 free throws, right? Then you go, Kukoc. Number 7. You just deny him the ball. Man ain't never scored without the ball. You just worry about denying him the ball. Give some help. All right? Yo. Yeah. Okay, but all right, now, we get out. You got 4 fouls. Okay, this is what we do. They kick it around to Kukoc, right? You want to go after the ball, reach and foul. Before he shoots it, we put him on the line for a 1-and-1. Yeah, all right? Oh, we need these 2, man. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Yo, make it work. Try to roll. Then restart.
So here we go then.
Altenberg going to step over there, take these 2. Well, 1-on-1 anyway. And if they make these, that gives them a 3-point lead. And you heard Coach Cadle say there, if they make these 2 shots, they're going to come down, they're going to foul Kukoc or whoever before he shoots, which puts them on the line with a 1-on-1. They can only score 2 points, which should leave Kingston with a 1-point win.
What an important basket. Altenberg maintaining his composure. But he's built for the last 11 years here after being the Naismith Award winner in the States for the best player under 6 feet. He does it again. The lead's 3 now.
Now he should be getting a foul any time here.
There's 8 seconds left. 6, 5. They scored from outside. It's a 3-point game. They're going to go into overtime. 79 points apiece. It's overtime.
I'll tell you, Simon, Kingston should have this win. They should have fouled somebody to put them on the line for 1-on-1, and that would have been the ball game. Instead, they didn't foul. They left the man open to shoot a 3-point shot, and it takes it into overtime. So Kingston should be going home now, should be celebrating a victory, but nobody remembered to foul the man.
Duncan. It was an impossible shot, but he was in an impossible position at that stage.
Yeah, I'm sure Kevin Cale's not too happy with that one. They wasted opportunity there when they get the ball right off the top. So it's going to have to come from this end of the floor, though. They're going to have to keep that defensive intensity.
Pavicevic, third with him. And he reached in there. All right. And Duncan, Robin Kukoc. How much will fatigue play a part here?
You see Lorenzo Duncan out there talking to him. I was just going to say, Simon, the Kingston team do look tired. I'm sure the Pop 84 are just as tired, but they've got more reserves to draw on than the Kingston team right now.
Tabak. Beautiful little jump shot from him. And they go ahead by 2 to split. Big Yugoslav contingent here, and they're very relieved.
That was a big basket. In an overtime situation, you want to try to get the first basket. So you're always working from a positive point of view.
Stiller. Good alertness there from Lorenzo Duncan. Up to 17. Game tied again.
Lorenzo nipped in there, got the offensive rebound, to put it back up for 2 to tie it up.
And a foul there against Sam Stiller. Stiller's 4th foul.
There he is driving to the basket. And again, it's a reaching foul right there. Down on the arm. Puts him on the free throw line for 2. And the only thing is, Pop 84 split haven't been shooting well from the free throw line. So this could be a saving grace for Kingston.
Well called. Karasevic it is. There's Chelko Pavicevic, the coach, new coach here at Split. That was the hand of Lorenzo Duncan away, but 2 more points.
You've been unfortunate there. Martin Henlon knocked the ball away to keep from going in there on the free throw, which you are allowed to do, but unfortunately the ball went back to the Yugoslavs and they scored 2 off it.
Is that a foul? Looks like it might have been against Naglic.
Good pump fake in there to draw the foul on Naglic, as you say. Now it's Martin's turn, who's normally a very good free throw shooter, to tie the game up.
Martin Clark on 17 points. It didn't want to, but it's tied again. 3.5 minutes left. Pavicevic. Scream of defense from around the arena here at Crystal Palace. Is that a foul against Bird? It is. Alton doesn't believe it. And there he is, disbelieving, but out of the game. And that is crucial. How crucial we'll know in the next 3.5 minutes. But he certainly didn't back off Alton. Whether or not he knocked the hand, I'm not sure.
We couldn't really tell from that angle. Maybe we can see from here. I think he was a little bit unlucky again tonight. It looks like he gets the ball cleanly right there. Yeah, from that angle it looked it. Yeah. And you know, that's his 5th foul. He's out now, and you can see how he feels about it.
Yeah.
It's not going to help the Kingston cause at all.
It looked desperately unlucky. It was a clean shot on the ball.
And now we've got a 17-year-old kid and Matt Cunningham out on the floor in overtime against Pop 84, and he hasn't been out on the floor yet tonight, so that's going to be tough.
Yes, Matthew Cunningham, the number 9, found on one of Kevin Cadle's training camps, but he never thought last year when he joined Kingston's senior squad that he would ever be playing in a match like this.
And again, down the other end, they missed the free throw only to get the offensive rebound and score 2.
Martin Clark. Cunningham got an important hand in there. So it's Lorenzo Duncan, who's played so well. Finds Henlon. And here's Cunningham. Still a well-played Cunningham.
Kingston got to hang in there. Only to shoot a 30-footer like that from Sam, not the shot I don't think Kevin Cadle wanted there. It's a little bit unfortunate.
But they're running out of weapons at the moment.
Yeah, there's still a lot of time left, Simon. There's still over 2 minutes to go. They're only down 2 points. You know, they've got to work the ball for a better shot, especially with the personnel they have in there. It's most important that they do that.
Kukoc. Tabach. Good hands there from Matthew Henlon.
Big block by Martin Henlon.
Martin Henlon, that wonderful block there. And Duncan. Under 2 minutes left. Hands stayed firm, even if his feet didn't, but that's a poor shot.
Yeah, fatigue definitely played a factor there. Kevin Cadle looking for a timeout here because he knows they're tired and they're not playing very smart basketball, and they have to right now. They've got to work for a good shot, better shot than just coming down and trying to go one-on-one.
Pavicevic, Cunningham in front of him. And they're calling on Cunningham to go forward to him. But that could be a crucial basket. 4 points now, the lead. 1 minute 17 left. Kevin Cadle's timeout. Can he inspire them just once more?
All right, we want to go this. All right. Now, I want you to start on the side over there, okay? you start up at the top on the fist. I want you to go screen. Set your man up. If you get it, we got a shot. All right, concentrate it to the bucket. If it's 3, it's fine. You got to work. All right, now, you 2 men on his side. You want to go away. So 2 men over there clearing. Martin is going to pick. We got the jumper, or you got the one-on-one, whatever one you see. All right, now we come down. We need a D. Why don't you go to guard with the ball? You go number 5. Okay, so you get on the move. All right, let's go, baby. We all right. Hey, yo, we need 2 buckets, and we need 2 defense. Come on, let's go. Okay, we cool. All right, let's go. 1, 2, 3. Good. All right, we cool. We got the ball.
Yeah, Kevin Cato, they're trying to focus their minds on the technicalities here. Setting up an offensive play here, coming out of this out of bounds, to make them think about execution and not to get themselves down and think about how tired they are, but to think about a specific job for them to do, so they can make it easier for them. That's what a coach is all about. Here we go. We got the pick set. Duncan goes one-on-one, which is just what he asked for, and they got a basket. So good time out there for Kingston.
Right, a minute left. Lorenzo Duncan gets 2. He's on 25, the leading scorer for Kingston tonight. Kukoc, a good steal. It's 2-on-1. Duncan, Distiller. It's there. It's all tied up into the last minute of overtime. If it's level at the end of this overtime, there'll be another 5 minutes in second overtime. Pavicevic.
I tell you, Lorenzo Duncan, he's going to need a week to recover from this game. He is just playing fantastic basketball out there.
Pavicevic, 24 seconds left. 7 seconds left on this shot. It's in.
And I hate to say anything about Matt Cunningham, but the last 2 times that Yugoslavia have scored, Pop 84 have scored, it's been on his man, on Matt Cunningham.
Here's Duncan, and Tabak took him away, and they're going to hold on, and they've done it. Split have won, 89-87.
And there we are at the end of that game. That's what the table looked like after 2 games. Kingston and Limoges down there at the bottom, having played 2 and lost 2. And Split and Barcelona, the only sides with 100% records. You know, I must have seen that match now a good half a dozen times, and I still can't believe that Kingston don't win it. What about you, Jeff? I mean, it really was so close and yet so far.
Yeah, the play at the end of the game obviously was the vital one, that they really didn't. They executed correctly as far as their defensive assignments. They actually helped when someone was beaten, but they didn't actually carry out Kevin's instructions.
So this is the final few moments of real time. Let's just have a look at it again, because Kevin Cadle has been quite clear about what he wants done, hasn't he?
Right. I mean, really, even now as the ball's coming up the floor, I mean, Alton's on 4, so maybe possibly someone else guarding number 6 for Yugoslavia, so that they could foul him even then. As Stiller and Clark come, someone should have probably fouled 6 then, as opposed to coming to help and stopping the penetration, thus putting him on the line, getting what Kevin wanted. They have the 1-and-1. Even if they make them both, with Alton on the floor and 2 other guards, you're pretty secure and safe, and you run out the clock.
Well, I know that Kevin was well sick at the end of it, that that they had been so close to beating the defending champions. What would you have been doing if you'd been coach?
I mean, the same kind of stuff that he talked about, and hopefully with a little bit better execution by the players. And now it's difficult to blame any individual, but as it happened, Stiller did the correct thing, Martin Clark did the correct thing, except for the foul. Really, then it's just a question of going after someone and putting the pressure on them on the line, as opposed to giving up an open jump shot. It's a tough way to lose when you know really in your heart that you had it, and they didn't beat you, but you actually gave it to them.
And we then went into overtime, of course, and a crucial moment arrived when Alton Bird fouled out. A little unlucky here, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Alton's got exceptionally good hands even now. I mean, his foot speed might be a little bit slower than it was.
Let's have a look at it here.
He's getting the guard, and the guard really has nowhere to go. He's trying to back him and use his size. Alton's using his quickness, recovers well from the reach there. As he comes across, he gets ahead of him again. He reaches for the ball, and really not from that angle, but the angle he showed earlier, he had all ball, and consequently it's a travel, and they take over. But they missed Alton more, believe it or not, defensively, because of what they said later in the game, because Cunningham being a young, inexperienced player, had to come in and guard people, and he wasn't really in a rhythm. And so it made defensive changes for Kevin. And although offensively they stayed with them, defensively they took advantage of Cunningham's inexperience.
I was going to ask you, I mean, as somebody who has to coach a side against Kingston, is Alton Bird the one that you look for? Is he your main worry?
Well, I mean, in a way, I would say for most teams, yes, that's the case. Alton is a very experienced player. He controls the tempo of the game better than anyone in Britain. And by that I mean he runs when they need to run. He slows it up when they need to slow it up. And he has the ability to hold the ball for maybe 28 of the 30 seconds on the shot clock and still get a very good shot off with him. So yeah, from most teams' points of view, if you can take Alton out of the game, and by that I mean if Alton's scoring a lot, I think you're better off. If he's distributing the ball and making everyone else play, then I think you're in for a long night against Kingston. And
one other thing that you spotted, much to your amusement, was Kevin's timeout technique right there at the end, where he was tearing his hair out. It was like, you go here, you go there.
Right. And it was interesting. It sort of keeps them in their place, I guess. He's acting like he doesn't know their names, in the sense of, you, whatever you are, get over there, and whoever you are, you do this. And what really we want to happen is you guys confuse everybody, and we'll let Lorenzo down the middle and have a layup. And it works, so, I mean, you can't fault it.
Okay, right, well, we're going to take a short break now, but in a moment or two, we'll see how Kingston got in their next game, which was away to the Israeli champions of Maccabi Tel Aviv. Do join us after this break.
Hey, what have you got my glasses on for?
It's going to be a good
Watching Movie About the Dinosaur.
Bye. Scissors, yeah. And... Can you help?
Don't worry, Mrs. Edwards. I'll take care of it.
That's great. Mr. Edwards, I have a new American Express card.
I have one here.
Oh, yes. He's got the power. And you could have too. National power. And power gem. It's not... Oh, excuse me. It's not too late to reserve a prospectus. Call this number by February the 24th.
Once in a decade, a car comes along that's in a class of its own. And now the Orion is available with 4.9% finance, APR 9.5%. It's a classic car you can afford.
I don't care!
Stupid!
Take this!
If you need to replace anything around the home, the Household Money Savers promotion at Argos takes care of it.
The Sports Channel is #1 for boxing action. On Saturday the 2nd of March, we begin a new series which punches further into the world of boxing. Ringside. Saturday, March the 2nd, live at 8.
Welcome back to tonight's main event, this evening featuring basketball, and in the company of the Manchester Giants coach Jeff Jones, we're looking back at Kingston's campaign to date in this season's European Cup quarter-finals. Now, already we've seen them go down to Salonika and split in their opening 2 games. Now we're going to see how they got on against the Israeli champions, Maccabi of Tel Aviv. Yet another tall order this for Kingston, as Maccabi are the only side in Europe to have reached this stage of the competition every year since the competition's quarter-final pool format was first adopted back in the mid-70s.
6.5 minutes to go in the second half. Maccabi leads 68-50. And they've been turning the screw throughout this second half. Here's Alton Bird. into Cunningham. But away come Maccabi again, and they've looked ever dominant.
That's been the story of the game right there. Kingston not getting these shots that they should be putting in, and definitely not their best offensive performance of the night.
Donald Royal, number 15 in, the second American player. But look at that. Doron Jamshi, the captain of the Israeli team. 3 more for him. So the lead now, 21.
Yeah, Trevor Gordon getting a nice dunk there on the break, coming back down to get 2 points back. But Yamshi is a renowned 3-point shooter. Great outside shooter, one of the best in Europe. You can't give him any space.
Chenlipin. Was that a foul? Looks like it's not been called.
Doesn't see from that angle, Simon. Maybe Allen might have been called for a foul.
Yeah, looked like he might have been leaving his backside out. So here's Alton Bird. Good hands again, that time from Donald Royal. And the measure of Kingston task here, shown by the fact that Maccabi have been Israeli champions 31 times. Here it is again.
Yeah, I would say that's Kingston ball there. The ball was checked out of bounds there by Maccabi. It should be Kingston out of bounds, but the referee, Judge Alton, shot the ball out of bounds. Gives the ball to Maccabi.
And Alton never slow to let the referee know what he thinks. 21 points the lead, and Zvishev pretty relaxed now, the coach of the Maccabi team. Here's Jamshi. Cunningham with the rebound. Away comes Bird. Here's Gordon. And the foul against Doron Jamshi.
That's more like it. That's a Kingston break there, and they got an intentional foul there on Yamshi, on Trevor Gordon going to the basket. Here we go. Bird bringing it down the middle, dishes it off to Trevor Gordon from the right, and Yamshi gets him on the arm, pushes him out of bounds. And the ref judged it to be intentional foul, so that's 2 shots in possession for Kingston. All which will help.
Yes, the match has virtually slipped away. They really have to get on a massive roll to get this back. Trevor Gordon on the line. First year at Kingston, played for Boston College. 6 England caps to his name. Big man, 2 meters 6. But it's the land of giants here in the Sports Palace.
That's right, they need every one of his inches, Simon, out there.
So sideline possession as well. And here's Alton Bird. And that imaginative brain will keep ticking right to the end. Just 5 minutes left in the second half. Cunningham. But just not on there. Alert to his moves. Jamshi blocked out. Looked like by Gordon. Bird. Super rebound from Lamont Mercer.
You notice Kingston not getting too many second opportunities on their shots here. They missed it. Normally the Maccabi's getting the rebound, and you can see also that Kingston are missing Martin Clark out there, one of their top scorers. We believe he's been injured. Not quite sure the extent of it, but it's going to alter the game plan for the Kingston team without having their top scorer out there.
Yes, we understand he has a heel injury, but Monty Daniel waiting to come in. A chance there for Cunningham, and really that's the kind of basket he should be scoring.
The final score in that match, Maccabi 80, Kingston 62. It was another depressing night for coach Kevin Cadle. Well, 6 days later, Kingston's travels took them to France and to Limoges.
Here's Alton Bird. And big Martin Henlon. Limoges on offense. Beautiful, sweet move. And at the end of it, Don Collins. Here's Bird.
Yeah, this is Kingston offense their bread and butter, really, ball in Bird's hands, giving him the option to penetrate, look for the open shot, either for himself or a teammate. Took it all to the basket that time, passed it back out to Duncan, who took it himself and drew the foul.
Foul against Don Collins there, 31-year-old who graduated from Washington State. Best American in France, he was voted a couple of years ago. It's his first season for Limoges. Up goes Duncan. And they'll be happy with that. So the lead back to 1. Straight away, Collins.
That's Don Collins at his best. He gets down the floor and gets those tough baskets inside, like that 12, 15 feet off the backboard. Prolific scorer.
3 points for Alton Bird. Kingston are level. 11 points apiece. And Bird's first points of the match. Rebound from Duncan. Shot in from Daiquiri. Limoges, 6 times French champions. Cup winners in '88, twice winners of the Corach Cup in '82 and '83. It's their 5th time in the last 8, and they've become a better and better side as the years have gone on. Rebound from Daiquiri, and here he is again. Super move, started it and finished it.
Yeah, you can see why Kevin Cato wants the ball in Alton's hands. That was a turnover there from Trevor Gordon. You can see the Kingston offense, they got a pretty big lineup with Gordon, Henlon, and Cunningham. They got a good rotation. The 3-man rotation inside with Duncan and Bird on the perimeter. Trying to work that ball inside, get some isolation, like that one.
Shot in from Cunningham. And they need him to be on much sharper form than he was in their last match against Maccabi. A man who really has been such a big influence in Kingston's success. They haven't been beaten in a domestic competition for well over a year now. Cunningham has been at the sharp end of most of their moves. Up it goes from Demery. 3-pointer, and the lead up to 5.
Yeah, Kingston in the 2-3 zone that time. Take advantage of their big lineup.
Oh, 3 points for Don Collins. Oh, yes. 3-pointer from Julian. He's come alive in the last couple of minutes. Then the lead 15, and the score doing no justice to Kingston. But as the fatigue really takes hold, they're slipping further and further down. And Limoges on a roll now.
They certainly were, and the final score in that match was Limoges 88, Kingston 71. So Kingston didn't do any more scoring, although Limoges got another 2 points. Well, 2 games to talk about there, Jeff. First of all, let's talk about the Maccabi game. And Kingston actually a little unlucky because they've been caught out by circumstances, because only 2 sides in this competition have actually played in Maccabi as home games. That's them and Limoges. Right. The rest, of course, have been able to claim sort of a quasi-home advantage because of the Gulf crisis.
That's right. Yeah, they were a bit unfortunate. Again, it comes back to establishing yourself in Europe, and to go to Maccabi Tel Aviv to play any kind of game, especially a European Cup game, is extremely difficult. And Kevin having 2 games, or certainly the 1 game that they should have won in Yugoslavia, I think he might have found it a little bit difficult to get everybody up, and really inspired maybe a little bit. So consequently, a little bit of a flat performance maybe.
But I mean, it is obviously panning out, even at this stage of the competition, the crucial advantage of home advantage. You have to win at home and take what you can away.
And try and sneak something away. That's absolutely right. Especially for the bigger clubs in Europe, you're going into venues that seat 5 to maybe 8,000, 10,000 people, and it's extremely hostile. They're very passionate, and the home court advantage away in Europe is probably worth between 12 and 15 points to a team.
Well, now we have Maccabi in London next week, actually playing at Wembley, live here on the Sports Channel, I hasten to add. What do you reckon might happen there then? Because Maccabi actually haven't done terribly well since those early days, I think because of the distractions of the political situation back home.
Yeah, obviously Maccabi, a lot of their players probably have other things on their mind, and and obviously it's been a bit of a distraction for them. But again, it's going to be just like the Greek game with Aris was at Crystal Palace. I think you'll look at maybe 6,000 members of the Jewish community out there supporting Maccabi. So for them, it may be as much as well as good as a home game.
It can't be any noisier, surely. I tell you, I was nearly killed, I think, down there at Crystal Palace with the Greeks going balmy. Let's have a quick word about the Limoges game. Limoges won it 88-71, and that was a real disappointment for Kingston, because I think that Kevin thought that if there was one game they were going to sneak away from home, Limoges was the one.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, obviously Limoges, they both went into the games without a win. But again, it goes back to the experience. When Limoges first got into the competition in the early 80s, they went 0-10 or 0-8 in the games, or 0-10. And so consequently, again, their experience at home, again, milking the crowd and everything else. So the 15-point barrier was about right for the home court advantage in Limoges' case. Them and Kingston are very similar in that they're made up of very experienced veteran players, if you like, and I think that the French, certainly along with the Greeks and along with the Israelis, play better at home. And I think if Kevin can take heart from that or anything else, that they still have Limoges to come here, they still have the Israelis, so that, you know, the things look a little bit better for the second half of the pool for them.
Right, so then we have a situation where Kingston have played 4 and sadly lost 4. Their next game, though, was a home game against the Italians of Pesaro. And what a match this proved to be. Let's have a look at the two teams. Obviously, Jeff, Kingston we know now pretty well. Pesaro had a few injury problems.
Yeah, that's true. They were missing some a guard. Gracias didn't play, and they were missing Bonnie, and they were 2 experienced internationals for them. So they were a little bit shaky. Their Americans really haven't been what they expected them to do for them this year, the guard, Cook and Day. And so, I don't know if maybe the Italians came in here a little bit complacent and really didn't take Kingston serious enough, and that's always fatal no matter who you're playing.
Well, the captain of Pesaro had a pretty magnificent name, didn't he? Magnifico. Let's see how the match developed. We're now actually going to join it second half, just 8 minutes to go, and the score is Kingston 70, Pesaro 63.
8 minutes left, the lead 7. Kingston searching for their first win in this pool of the final 8 in the European Cup. 4 defeats in a row they've suffered, and a foul there. Good move from Henlon, draws a foul against Alessandro Boni.
And Candle had it right in that timeout, Simon. He said the refs are starting to call fouls now. And one way to get them called is to get the ball close to the basket, get it inside. There's a much better chance of getting some physical contact and drawing a foul.
Martin Henlon, man who was born in England, went to college at the Virginia Commonwealth. Come back here. And there's the problem with fouls.
Same college as Greg McCrae. You might remember Greg McCrae from a few years ago.
Former Crystal Palace teammate of yours.
That's right.
They were the last great side that England had in European competition. Oh, yes. Cool points there from Darren Day. He's up to 13. The lead 7.
Yeah, they've kept him quiet so far this game. Let's hope they can keep him quiet for another 7.5 minutes here.
Clark recovers well. And all the while, the clock ticking away.
Boney, a big man Boney, reaching here, knocking that ball away from Alton Bird. You don't see that very often.
So Sam Stiller coming in, Lorenzo Duncan going out. Stiller, who played so well at the end of the first half. Duncan on 4 fouls, so in goes Cunningham.
Yeah, they had to take a quick shot there. There were only 5 seconds left on the shot clock when they inbounded the ball, so they had to rush a shot there.
Boney.
Nice play there from Day. Made that one. Penetrate to the basket and dump the ball off to Boney inside for 2 points.
It's a silky move. Boney on 3. Here's Bird. Under 7 minutes left. Henlon. Cunningham. And he gets the foul.
Like it's on Darren Day. But a big, big offensive rebound from Alan Cunningham in there. He's really showing you just exactly what he can do. He works harder than anybody else out on the floor, especially underneath the basket, just like that. One of the best rebounders in the country, no doubt about it.
Second foul against Darren Day. Magnifico on 3. So's Costa and Bertoni. For Kingston with 4 players on 4 fouls. For lead 6. Day. Boney. Good hands from Martin Hendon. Stiller having a look, but deciding to just wait for a while. 3 for Altenberg. His first three-pointer of the match. He's up to 11, and it couldn't have come at a better time. The lead up to 9. Just over 6 minutes left. It looks as if Kingston could do it this time, as long as they can maintain their composure and not have one of these or more of these guys fouling out. Magnifico, and they let him through that time. They didn't want to foul.
Yeah, you're right, Simon. Right through 2 players for that layup. And you're right, they've got to avoid that foul. Mark Clark on 3 fouls there. They want him to get his 4th.
Let's get those chants going.
Cunningham. Bird. Cunningham again. Hendon. How well he's played. And it looked like a foul there on Magnifico.
That's right.
And that's his 4th foul.
And Alan Cunningham helped make that foul there, Simon. He went to the offensive boards, forced Magnifico to push him, keep him away from the boards, and pick up his 4th foul. It's those kind of plays, that kind of hustle, Simon, that makes a difference in these games.
Both teams now on team fouls.
7 fouls now against Pesaro, so it's 1-on-1 for both sides. Altenberg. Cunningham Day having a rare old battle. Here's Cunningham. Nice move. And another foul. Looks as if it might be on Trevor Gordon.
Yeah, you're right, Simon.
You will come out of the game. 18 points.
And that's Trevor Gordon out of the match. Just what they didn't want. He'd only been in a few seconds, perhaps hadn't quite got the tempo of the game, but you can see as he outstares the referee, not at all happy. But what a game he had, Trevor Gordon. 18 points. And scored 9 from 10.
There's a shot from Allen, and there's Trevor Gordon. Call him for pushing on the back there against Magnifico. That was just a tap for Trevor Gordon.
And Magnifico up to 24, leading scorer in the game.
Great game for Trevor Gordon. Made 9 for 10 from the field. That's great shooting.
Martin Hendon just tipping it away. I'm not sure if it was just above the ring or just to the side of it, but the referee giving them the benefit of the doubt. Altenberg. The lead 6. Under 5 minutes left. Clark.
Oh, big basket.
Looked a hopeful shot to me, but it got there.
Shot that over Magnifico. It's all 6'10" of them.
Day misses. Bird has the rebound. 8 points and possession. 4.5 minutes left. Surely they'll slow it down now.
Yeah, just like they did last time. Especially if they hit a shot like that, like the last one. There we go.
Griffiths. Yes, they're going to run the clock.
Mike hesitating on that shot still. Figures at this stage of the game, no time to start shooting now.
Sloppy play there. They cannot afford that. Day on his own. He's got 5 Kingston players around him. And a foul against Martin Clark. I think that's his 4th.
It's the 4th foul on Martin Clark.
4th foul against Clark.
Here he goes. You knew he was going to take it to the basket. Yeah, he got him. all over him. Still, the good thing about that foul is that he missed the shot. He missed the layup, so he's got to make the 2 from the free throw line.
Darren Day, 30 years old now, 2 years with the Celtics, 3 with the Washington Bullets. Scariolo looks on in real hope now. 4 minutes left, Bird under pressure, but how well he gets out of it. Beautiful pass, Martin Clark, 2 points, no foul.
Yeah, they're going to have to do a little bit better than that, Pesaro, if they want to try to trap Alton Bird with the press. He went around him with no problem, all the way down the floor, found Martin Clark wide open, who hit the shot.
Two there for Gattoni. 3.5 minutes left. The lead 6. No press on.
Well, they paid for that price last time down.
Alton's so cool.
Seven seconds on the shot clock.
Got to get one away. Alton sends one up miles high. All eyes on the clock now. Under 3 minutes left.
3 minutes.
They've got to get those kind of shots.
Hey, Kingston, I hope they take a few more of those. They only have to worry about playing defense. That happens. And here we go. They're going to run the clock down.
They only need a couple more baskets, Kingston, and they're home. Cunningham, wonderful rebound. And a foul against Costa, it looks.
You're going to get marked now, okay? Now, hey, we done missed 2 1-and-1s. We can't go with the third one. All right, so let's take care of it now. They coming up on us. Let's move the ball so we don't have to get on the free throw line. All right, they doubling. Everybody come to meet the ball, all right? And then know where you're going to make the next pass to so we can use up some clock. All right, let's use up some clock. Now, we get down D, everybody got to work. Move your feet, try to turn them, moving everybody to the ball because they're trying to go to the basket with it. All right, let's go, baby.
I come and put pressure on it. You got 15, all right?
Let's go, baby. 1, 2, 3.
Do it now. Defense. Come on, defense.
1 minute and 1 second left. The lead 6. Kingston away from what will be the biggest victory ever by an English club in the European Cup, the premier competition in European basketball. Wonderful moment, and how important are these, Dan, these two?
Oh, these are big. This could really virtually ice the game right here, Simon, if he hits these two.
Up to 7. Two more for Alton. And it's Kevin Cadle who has the scent of victory.
Oh, yes, great defense. Alan Cunningham throwing the charge there on Cook. He was waiting there for him all the way from half court.
Third foul, and the crowd know now the game is going to be Kingston's. Under a minute left.
Here we go. Good position. Kingston turned the ball straight back over down here.
Way from outside. Wow! Oricadini.
Come on, Kingston.
Alton Bird doing everything he can, pursued by everybody, and Day fouls again.
That's got to be intentional. They're going to call it no. 1-and-1.
They're clawing back, and again, Alton's got to go to the free throw line and get these two. The lead is 5.
The three-pointer's dangerous weapon. Brought him back into 5 points with just under 40 seconds to go.
It's still not over. It still needs all the experience that Bird can bring to this. "35 seconds left, and that's an important miss, and that could be the end.
Pesaro didn't need that one.
Now, can they hold on here? Cunningham.
Keep the ball moving, hit the open man.
They're home.
Make the defense come to you. There you go. That's it.
The shot clock has 2 seconds left in the time you see. And again, they get possession. Cunningham. And they've got all the time in the world now.
Good move, Alan. Way to keep that ball back out there.
They can just hold on, and it's there. Kingston have won the greatest victory by an English club in European basketball. The most important win that a club side has ever had. The first time an English side has won in the final European pool. 4 defeats in a row, and Kevin Cadle said it's not enough for us to compete against these guys. We know we can win, and we've got to win, and at last they've done it, and you can see the joy on the faces there.
It's a great weight lifted up their shoulders, Simon, to win this European game at home, and hopefully they can just go from strength to strength and get the next one away.
There's the moment when Kevin Cadle knew that exactly what he'd been telling the side had come true. We were able to beat them, he says.
Fine set of teeth Mr. Cadle has, doesn't he? Now, there we are. That's the table. Barcelona top, of course. Played 5, won 5, 100% record. And down there at the bottom, now, you may wonder why it is that Kingston are still bottom, even though they've won as many as Limoges, just the one each. But in fact, it's because Limoges, of course, beat Kingston when they played earlier on in the month. Well, that was the breakthrough. That was terrific, wasn't it?
Yeah, they did an exceptional job. The Italians may be coming in a little bit complacent. They were second in the pool, but all credit to Kevin and his players. They, having lost 4 previous games, it's very difficult, I think, to motivate any time, and they did an exceptional job.
And the thing was, of course, that they had been in a similar situation against Split the last time they'd been at home, where they'd apparently had it won and then threw it away. This time there was no mistake, much more assured.
Yeah, I think they felt a little bit more comfortable with maybe the European style of refereeing, the different tempos of the game in Europe, and they were a lot more confident with themselves. And people actually, I think they really went out believing they could win. I think in the Yugoslavian game, maybe they just thought, well, this isn't right. We shouldn't, you know, they're European champions and we shouldn't be in this situation. But I think with the Italians, they knew that they had it.
You say the European style of refereeing. How does it differ?
It's a lot more physical. They let you get away with a lot of things, a lot of contact off the basketball, and really where the 2 unsung heroes, as far as I'm concerned, in Kingston's European campaign are Henlon and Gordon. They're their big bodies, although that Allen gets a lot of garbage and second attempt rebounds, but those 2 actually have the physical prowess and strength to battle with the bigger players in Europe. So it's a lot more physical. You can get away with a little bit more contact, and it's difficult, and you need to have those bodies.
Okay, well, we can have a look at a couple of bits of action, which once again show what an invaluable servant to the club Alton Bird is here.
Yeah, I mean, this is an example we talked about earlier about Alton, that whenever the situation calls for it, he injects the tempo that's needed. Here, they tried to press, trying to get back into the game. He penetrates, dishes off to his old reliable jump shooter, Martin Clark, and Martin sticks the jump shot. So, you know, Alton saw that situation. They're trying to press up the tempo. He takes advantage of that, and they get an easy 15-foot jump shot.
So, I mean, that was an example of Alton stepping up the pace. Now we can see a little bit of Alton slowing it all down and taking his time.
Really, they're up 6. The Italians are going to make their run. Alton holds the ball, and as they're saying that the shot clock gets down, he moves into a situation, although he doesn't score in this particular sense, the ball moves and it touches just about every Kingston player. And in those kind of situations, that's what you want to do, spread the defense out, make them work that much harder on the defensive end late in the game so that maybe their offensive execution isn't as good. And obviously, like I said, he makes the penetration as the shot clock winds down. It's just unfortunate that he doesn't actually score this time, but they more or less achieved what they wanted. They got, and really the second attempt was there. So they got to run the time off the shot clock and take the concentration out of the offense, out of the offensive end for the Italians.
Well, they certainly did achieve what they wanted, because they won it 82-77, of course, at the end. And what was the feeling in the game elsewhere in England. I mean, this was the first time any English club had ever won a quarter-final game in the European Cup. I mean, it was, Simon Reed was saying what a great moment it was in sort of basketball history. Were the ripples felt around the country?
Yeah, I think so. Again, we talked about it earlier, Charles, in that it actually gave credence and credibility to English basketball throughout Europe. And it's, you know, I was surprised because the Italians are a good team, and I expected them to challenge Barcelona and Jugoplastica. They probably took them a little bit lightly, but like I said before, it's good for English basketball. It puts it on the map in European eyes, and maybe that's the best way for the game to develop. We'll have to wait and see.
Okay, well, the game's against Leverkusen and Barcelona coming up in just a moment, but for now we'll take this short break. Don't go away, will you?
Excuse me, do you remember your first dime? Aye? Your first dime? Huh, not my trolley!
Is this the one I'm looking for? Yes, this is the one. Diet Coke. I must find it. The look of it. I search for the taste of it. Everywhere. The style of it. Diet Coke. It's the one I'm after. It's the feeling, it's the laughter. No one can replace it. I must find it, I must chase it. The taste that satisfies me. It's the one that can surprise me. Just for the taste of it. Sugar-free, 1 calorie. Just for the taste of it. Diet Coke.
I don't care! Stupid! Take this!
If you need to replace anything around the home, the Household Money Savers promotion at Argos takes care of it.
Once in a decade, a car comes along that's in a class of its own. And now the Orion is available with 4.9% finance, APR 9.5%. It's a classic car you can afford.
Live on the 8th of March at 8, the Sports Channel continues its coverage of the star-studded Matchroom League. In this joust, Steve Davis lines up against his close rival, Steve James, in a contest that will make some palms sweat. The top names, the top games from the Matchroom League on the 8th of March at 8 on the Sports Channel.
Hello again. So, Kingston's record to date in the quarter-final stages of the European Cup. They've played 5, they've lost 4, and they've won 1. But what a win. And after that win against Pesaro, I'm sure Kevin Cadel and his team were very buoyant. And they certainly went into their next game, which was away to the Germans of Leverkusen, in a very optimistic frame of mind. Prove another disappointing night, though. Once again, the Kingston forwards had an off night, with Leverkusen punishing every mistake. Leverkusen are currently the strongest German side around for a number of years. Their fans are enjoying the success, and this was to be one of those nights when whatever Kingston did, Leverkusen always managed to go one better. full-time score, Leverkusen 93, Kingston 83. So to Kingston's next home game, and it was another tough one. Their opponents from Spain, the mighty Barcelona.
So, Clark again to Bird. Cunningham wants it all the time. Clark. Cunningham. Norris with the check. Estella. Solasabal. 2 more. And the lead changes hand. Solasabal up to 14.
Kingston coming right back at him here.
What a fabulous match.
That was a great defense down there from Barcelona, getting that ball out there like that for the break.
Bird. Cunningham. Shooting at will here. Bird.
You got a mismatch out there. Audi Norris on Alton.
Clark, this time it's there.
And they found the other mismatch. Allows the ball on Clark.
2 more for Alan Cunningham. He's up to 16. So that's about just challenging him to make his move. Estella. So it comes to Norris. And the same result. 22 points for Audi Norris.
Great shooting night from him.
Bird. Waits for someone to get open. It's Cunningham. 16 for Cunningham. 6 in the whole of the first half. In the first half of the second, he's got another 10. And Kingston back in front.
And you can see Kingston almost like a freelance offense, Simon. They're coming down. It's like in transition still. They don't really set up an offense. They just look for the openings. And it's working for them.
Estella. Audi Norris. Tipped in by Ortiz, it looked like. His first 2.
These were one of the hands up there. There's that rebounding in there, Simon, and making it playing its part. They got to do a much better job on the defensive boards.
Ortiz up to 6 points. Bird slows it down. The tempo's been ferocious at the start of the second. Clark's free again. And again, the anxiety beginning to creep into the Kingston fans and the Barcelona visitors, you can see in full voice. So Audi Norris steps up to the line, this amazing player. 3 years with the Trailblazers. In '87 he was with Bennett and Treviso. And he's been for the last 3 years with Barcelona. Got to the final of the European Cup last year. They were beaten by split.
Kingston into early. A second shot to be taken again.
Yeah, free throw violation in there. They got Mike Griffiths that time. Audi gets the second shot.
Barcelona lead up to 3. And it was exactly at this stage in the first half that they started to take control.
He's on 24 points.
Bird beats Cunningham. Oh, yes. Tough shot to make.
That's right.
Cunningham's
got the hot hand.
He sure has. He's up to 18 points down. He's had a sensational start to the second half.
But they need him out there. They need him to score.
Montero. Through to Norris. Ortiz. Cunningham gets the hand in, but Gonzalez gets the ball. Out to Ortiz it goes. Solasabal. 2 more for Solasabal. He's up to 16. The lead 3 again.
I'm afraid life didn't get any better for Kingston there, because the final score was Kingston 81, Barcelona 88. Now then, Jeff, that was actually an interesting game from a number of points of view, and mainly because it just highlighted the difference, I guess, between Kingston and Barcelona. Kingston, the premier club at the moment in England, Barcelona, the premier club in Spain, and what a difference between the two.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's a lot of reasons and a lot of variables that go into that, not the least of money. They're an extremely wealthy club. They do everything pretty much top drawer, first class, and again, their experience in Europe tells.
Well, let's just concentrate on the money. For instance, Audi Norris, who is one of the top paid sportsmen in the whole of Europe, I have to say. I mean, not just sort of in basketball, in any sport in the whole of Europe. He reputedly gets something over $1 million a year in his bank account. Nice work if you can get it. And of course, well, Kingston have to pay a maximum wage ceiling for all of their staff of 75 grand.
That's right. It's a bit of a, certainly the David and Goliath situation when you're talking about the top teams in Europe. It's nice work if you can get it. I mean, I wouldn't mind being in Spain, doing a little bit of coaching for that.
But why, just explain to me how this ridiculous rule ever materialised, where Kingston have to pay 75 grand as a top wage ceiling for all of their players, for the whole pool.
Right. Yeah, and even what makes it worse, there's certain other things that are included in that 75, so it's not exactly just salaries. But it came about mainly through trying to stabilize, I think, the league, and with all good intentions, I think the league management people really looked at the sport and said, we're not ready for back in the days when Manchester United had it, when Portsmouth Football Club had an involvement, and these one owners came in. So I think they were trying to stabilize basketball. What it does do, it really limits your ability to compete against the best anywhere.
We must point out that all clubs in England have this ceiling of 75. Now that's fine of the old days, and that was terrific. But Kingston are going well in Europe, and then next year they want to make it down to 30 grand.
That came across my desk, as a matter of fact, yesterday. It was the first I knew they were talking about reducing it, but then really I think they're going to set the game back. I think what they've got to try and do is figure out a formula where clubs can be self-financing, or at least close to it, not reliant on benefactors or paid patronage, and really major sponsorship. The difference, obviously, again, is television coverage and the marketing and the facilities that the other European teams play in.
But, I mean, Kingston at the moment are playing in Europe. They're one of the best 8 clubs in Europe, which, I mean, is a terrific achievement. They're playing with one hand tied behind their back at the moment, aren't they? I mean,
I would say 2, but
which is a bit of a problem if you're trying to play basketball.
That's absolutely right. Like I said, I think people tend to look at Kingston and say, oh, well, they're getting beat, they can't be any good. And they're not very knowledgeable about the basketball situation. What Kingston have achieved, like I said before, is absolutely phenomenal in the circumstances. Even without the circumstances, it would be phenomenal, because the income and the revenue generated by basketball here isn't that great.
And just to underline yet another point of what an achievement it is for Kingston, the fact is that most of their players are part-time. Sam Stiller, for instance, couldn't go to the Leverkusen match because he couldn't get time off work. Well, of course, all of the other clubs, they're full-time, proper pros.
Oh, that's right. And really, it doesn't necessarily, all right, Sam couldn't get off work, but what it does do, it ends up making the players more tired, in the sense of they've worked their 8 hours, they come into a practice session, they have to maybe travel for 3 days, take time off work, possibly loss of earnings. So there's a lot of things that they're focused on as opposed to basketball, and it is a very difficult situation. It's a sad reflection in the sense of that England can produce, or has the ability, talent-wise, to produce the best players in Europe. It's working along the lines of trying to establish a development program, and hopefully, maybe in our lifetime, that we'll see them doing the things that Barcelona are doing.
So if you were king for the day and in charge of English basketball, what would you do then in order to get us up in with a shout? Because, I mean, obviously we could compete with the best in Europe, couldn't we?
Yeah, I think there are some rumblings about 10 regional basketball centers being built with really an emphasis on development and participation. Along with that, I would love to see, or if I had the ability to, I would give each National League club their own facility, whether that be a 5,000-seat arena, whether that be a 2,000-seat arena. Once you have control of your own facility, then I think you have much more say in your own destiny.
And you'd scrap this ridiculous 30 grand ceiling.
You wouldn't need it. You wouldn't need it, because if you have your own place, everything, I think, becomes self-funding, self-generating income, self-interest. The player pool becomes bigger. Obviously, your financial pool becomes bigger. It's a more attractive sport to television, to sponsors, and so on and so on. And that's what's happened in Europe. We've regressed. We were close in the early 80s, but we've regressed now, and maybe we're 10 years again behind, in the sense of maybe the marketing and the development of the sport.
I guess this is a subject we could probably go on about all night long, and we haven't actually got all night. We've got the best game, in fact, of the whole run coming up in just a moment. Kingston against Salonika. Hope your nerves are strong. Join us for that after this break.
Oh, yes, he's got the power, and you could have too. National Power and Power Gem. It's not... Oh, excuse me. It's not too late to reserve a prospectus. Call this number by February the 24th.
Once in a decade, a car comes along that's in a class of its own. And now the Orion is available with 4.9% finance, APR 9.5%. It's a classic car you can afford.
Well, I'm dabbling in the garden trade, and I make a tidy sum. But some of my deliveries have a very nasty hum. I'm not shifting this lot single-handed, so I collared Chaz and Alfie. Boys, might I be so bold? If you shift this muck onto this truck, I'll get you into liquid gold. That's 500 big ones, they said. Now, to start a liquid gold account, it took £500. But now it's only 25. The amount has come right down. Silly me, I forgot to tell the lads. Well, they weren't amused when they heard the news. I quickly won them round. You get a really top-class savings account for only £25. I always come up smelling the roses. Well, the boys were very grateful, and they thanked me with a smile. Very pleased with the leads. We can really make a pile.
For more details of liquid gold, phone free on 0800 700 900.
The top male stars. Indoors. Going all the way. To win. In Rotterdam. Men's indoor tennis from Rotterdam. On the 7th of March at 8 on the Sports Channel.
Yes, welcome back. So we're very nearly right up to date with Kingston's campaign in Europe, because we've now got to their epic match at Crystal Palace amongst the Blizzards against Aris Salonika of Greece. Now, this was the first of the return legs for Kingston. I remember when they played in December, as we saw at the top of the programme in Greece, Salonika won it 103-90. So these were the teams that actually did duty. And remember, this was, in fact, the first night of the big blizzard, and everybody had a little trouble getting to Crystal Palace. The place was sold out. 80% of the crowd was Greek, and the place was just a mass of telephone directories, and a little later on, raining coins, and it was mayhem personified. Now then, we're going to join the action with the score: Kingston 75, Salonika 70, and there is 3 minutes and 25 seconds of action to go.
12 points to Liberidis. The lead is just 5. 3.5 minutes left. It's an age in basketball with this kind of lead. They still have a major chance.
Kingston changing to a 2-3 zone here.
Vazumis, number 10, new on, the left-hander. Gallis finds Sobin, who's been battling so hard in the second half. And Salas gets the points.
That hurt, that offensive rebound there from Sellers. They can't let that happen. They miss a shot. Kingston got to make sure they get the defensive rebound.
Alton Bird shoots from outside. It's there. Just 2, though.
2's enough.
They'll stick with 2. 77-72. 2.5 left. Sobin trying so many tough shots. Jump ball. Sobin thought it should have been a foul against Martin Henlon.
Sobin having a tough night from the field. Missing that little 3-footer in there. But Kingston have to get that defensive rebound.
Gallis goes from 3 points and gets it. Oh, when they need him, he's there. 28 points, Nick Gallis. The lead down to 2. 2 minutes 17 left.
What a time to take a shot like that, Simon. That takes a lot of guts. That's why he's where he is.
Bird. Yes, Alton Bird has hardly had a shot. He's up to 8 points, but he's missed 5 in a row before that. That's why he's not been shooting so much. But now up to 8. Gallis again from outside. Not that time. But the rebound Sellers. Foul against Mike Griffiths.
I'll tell you, Aris are going to those offensive boards like nobody's business there. Here we go. Sellers and Sobin both on the ball there. Well, tough to tell from there. They did get it on Griffiths, though.
And the police have come alongside me. They're looking out for any potential coin throws. And there are several not too far from them. Meanwhile, Sellers moves up to 20. Had a better second half. He had a miserable time at the start, but he's in there now. Oh, important rebound. Pity Martin Henlon couldn't get that. Gallis misses though. Good hustle from Kingston. Henlon with the rebound. And a foul against Sellers. He nods.
Yeah. He's going to get out of the way of one of those Martin Henlon elbows. Martin should have thrown those a little earlier.
Tenacity, determination, but they've got to be composed, Kingston. They've lost their composure a little bit.
Yeah, you're talking about 2 very experienced players there in Sobin and Sellers. Going after a young rookie there like Martin Henlon.
So, it was a defensive foul because Henlon had position, but misses with that first free throw. Oh dear, 3 points, in goes Sellers. Kingston possession. Now, surely they'll slow things down a little.
Minute and a half to go, 3 points, still a lot of time.
Griffiths to Bird. Henlon. And a foul against Sobin, I think.
It was a good foul, really, by Sobin because it stopped the basket. He fouled him before the shot. You can see right here.
Yes, he fouled him there. He saw Henlon free, but the foul on Bird.
He body blocked him.
Means that Bird has to go to the free throw line, and important these. Heads up play from Sobin. All sorts of gestures at Alton, but he's experienced. He's drawing on all his experience now. 33 years old, playing some of the best basketball of his career this year. But that's more important than anything. They've got possession, and they can run this clock down with a lead of 4. Every second vital. Basumis, the man who's got the difficult task of taking that ball away from Alton. And a foul there. Good play, Bird.
Foul number 10, Basumis, his first foul.
Putting him back on the free throw line for 1-on-1. Here he is, sliding in there and getting him with his leg there. Quick call, good call by the official. But they need both of these.
Bird on 9. It's looking good for Kingston now. They need this one from Bird. Then the cushion will be 6.
Look at Sobin and Sellers over there. They're going to make sure Martin Henlon doesn't get this rebound.
But now it's a tall order. They can do it, Aris. But they've got to play out of their skin now, and the man with the ball has got to be the concluding influence. Nick Gallis.
Kingston staying at 2-3 zone.
Duncan trying for the hustle. Sobin. Good basket. But he looked for the foul and didn't get it. And again, Kingston can run the clock.
Oh.
But they've lost possession too long in getting the outlet pass.
5-second call on the end line, giving it to Aris. Very, very unfortunate there for Kingston.
Such pressure. There was no one free, and he just took that fraction too long.
You got to remember, he can run along that baseline after a made basket. And you're taking the ball out of bounds. Now they got to do it here on the defense.
And a foul against Trevor Gordon, his 4th foul. 1-on-1 it'll be. And it's Romanidis to the free throw line. There's Romanidis, 25 years old, 87 senior caps. Gold medalist in the European Championships in '87, and Greece won that nation's trophy.
If I remember correctly, Simon, free throws played a big part for Aris' win last week against Pesaro.
It did, right at the front. Pesaro had a 5-point lead with about a minute left. 2 points to lead into the last half minute. Duncan, good play from him, and a foul against Vazumis. Here it is. Important moments now for Lorenzo Duncan. Just 7 points. Rebound Sobin, and now the Greeks can tie it up. We could be into an overtime game here, into the last 30 seconds. And the shot clock hasn't started.
One more defense from Kingston.
But I think it's academic. Oh, so near. Romanidis. It's away. Griffiths has it. Sobin. And on the buzzer. Sobin on the buzzer. We're into overtime. And the crowd are going crazy.
It's out of control out there, Simon.
Dangerous scenes here at Crystal Palace. The coldest night of the year outside, but I can't tell you what it's like here. There's Sobin, who had such a miserable game in the first half.
Here we are, it's the defensive rebounds again, where Kingston have been dominating for most of the game. Sobin grabbing that ball and going back up strong with it, and right on the buzzer.
$82 points apiece then. Here we go. I hope you're sitting down at home.
And this first basket is important. It gives you a psychological advantage in the overtime situation. If you can be first on the board, that'll be a big psychological boost. And Kingston have the chance to do it here.
Alton Bird draws a foul. Sobin reacts. Foul on Sobin.
And that's his 5th.
So now the ball very much on the other foot. Sobin goes off. On comes Agilidis.
There's Alton driving to the basket. Goes up, and you can see him reaching in there. It could have been on 9 or 8, but they gave it to Sobin, and that's his 5th.
I think they'll settle to Sobin, wouldn't they? Romanidis not quite the threat. Sobin's been playing better and better. Alton Bird then to the free throw line. Kingston in front. Remember, the Yugoplastica game went to overtime. Kingston fought so hard, but it wasn't good enough. Romanidis finds Gallus. Three-point effort.
What a difference without Sobin in there, huh? Kind of leaves, gives you a little bit more space on the defensive boards.
But how Kingston could do with Cunningham and Clark. Duncan. Yes! Fine shot from Duncan. The lead up to 3.
Been waiting for Lorenzo to make his mark on this game, Simon. Maybe he can do it in this last overtime.
Gallus to Sellers.
And you can see this 2-3 zone is going to force Aris to shoot from the outside, and without Yannikis, who's one of their big outside shooters.
There he is, Yannikis getting really involved and pumping up the rest of the team.
They're going to force Aris to try to beat him from the outside and contain those defensive boards in there.
We're going to this zone. Unusual for Kingston. Sellers. Griffiths nearly reaching in, but Sellers gets the shot off. The lead down to 1. Sellers up to 22. And whenever he gets that ball in his hands, the boos rain out from the Salonika crowd.
Foul on Alton Bird. He gave an offensive foul on that. That was a tough call there. Here we see Alton penetrate to the basket.
Well, looked like the elbow just stuck out, because that's the way it was called.
Yeah.
Alton's 4th foul. So Henlon with the rebound. Bird gets a foul on Batsumis.
Yeah, I'd reckon they put Batsumis out there as a zone breaker. He came in for Romanitis.
And Bird quickly to the line. And gets it. Trevor Gordon does well. And so does Lorenzo Duncan. He's being an important factor in overtime. He's up to 11, and 4 of those have come in overtime, and the lead 3-2-40.
So he's got the last 4 points there for Kingston this overtime.
Gallis. Oh, what? 3 points for Gallis. Up to 31. 87 points apiece.
Tough shot.
The Greek god does it again.
He's been out there all game too, Simon. He's not flagging. This time they gave the foul. They gave the foul to Gallis. Right there.
And he's lecturing the referee. You can't do that to me. He said, don't you know who I am? And still it goes on. But when you're treated like a god like he is, you tend to behave like one.
And that remonstrating will definitely incite this crowd. As their man, Gallis, can do no wrong.
So Bird to the line.
Alton's got to hit these. Good job, Alton. Hit the other one.
And Alton enjoys these situations. He's getting plenty of advice in front of him. They're calling him all sorts of names. But he thrives on it. He hits both of them. And then straight round the Cadle to get the defense. And again, they're in the zone. Romanidis. Many, many times domestically, Kevin Cadle has outcoached the opposition. Can he do it again? Foul against Lorenzo Duncan. And that'll be him off.
Big loss there, because he was making his mark in this overtime period, hitting a couple of jump shots, playing some good defense out there. Here we are. Here's Gallis, and there's the reach in there.
So Sam Stiller comes on court. And he's got to be composed. Sometimes he's been a little hot-headed. Terrific talent, but amidst this cauldron, he's got to be composed.
Well,
lead down to 1.
They got the right man out there for Kingston to keep things under control in Alton Bird.
Stiller played really well in overtime against Split, I remember. Let's hope he can do it again. It's all tied up again. 89 apiece, 2 minutes left in overtime.
Difficult thing for Sam Stiller. He hasn't seen any court time in the second half at all, so he's going to be a little stale, a little cold.
And they're letting him free.
Alton calling for some movement there. Aris have come back with a little zone of their own.
Bird. And that hit nothing.
That hit nothing. The zone defense did the job, forcing a tough shot. Tie ball game, minute and a half to go. Kingston have yet to trail in this ball game. It's either been level or they've been up.
Aris. Again the zone. Shot clock down to 5. Good defense this from Kingston. There had to be a shot now. Sellers misses. Good hands, Sam Stiller.
Big rebound for Sam Stiller.
Into the last minute.
And the zone did a job there, forcing Aris for a difficult shot. I'm sure that's not a shot Brad Sellers wants to take.
One of the most important offenses of the season. Shot clock down to 20. Mike Griffiths. Here's Bird. Mike Griffiths is free. And Bird gets the rebound. One shot left. The shot clock, 27. The time to expire, down to 24. Exactly level. One shot now for the game. If they get it, Kingston will have won. If they miss it, we're into a second period of overtime. 89 apiece. Now, who will he go to?
You couldn't ask for more than this, Simon.
Frantic defense. Bird goes for it himself. Henlon! 1 second left. There's going to be another period of overtime. Yanis hits the rim, my word. From about 70 feet.
I thought you spoke a little too soon there, Simon. Oh, boy. That switch there has hurt the Kingston offense.
There's the shot from Bird. The moment when we all got to our feet. Henlon tries it from, what, about 10 feet?
Yeah, I think Brad Sellers got a little bit of the ball, and here's Gallus.
And then just when we were
give up.
Looking towards second period of overtime, Gallus shoots from 3/4 of the court and hits the rim. I'll tell you what, Dan, there's 6 inches of snow outside. Many of these people won't get home tonight, but they won't mind. They've had one of the nights of their lives.
This game might last all night, Simon.
That's true. The way it's going at the moment, the only thing is, so many players will foul out, there may not be too many players out on court.
Let's go.
So fouled out at the moment, we have Lorenzo Duncan, Martin Clark, and Alan Cunningham for Kingston. And for Aris, Yanakis, and Sobin. Alton Bird on 4 fouls, Martin Hennon on 4 fouls. Trevor Gordon on 4 fouls. It's desperate time for Kingston. And it could be the kids on the Kingston bench who could have an important part to play. People like the 17-year-old Matthew Cunningham, 18 years in his 2nd season. Steve Tomaszek in his 2nd season. They could be on court shortly.
Well, Aris went up too early for that jump ball, so they're giving the ball to Kingston. And Kingston had the ball first in the first overtime, and were the first to score.
Sam Stiller goes from outside. Good rebound. Henlon's doing so well with the rebounding.
I think Sam wants to get in this game quick.
Second period of overtime. Will be another 5 minutes. 4.5 left. Stiller and Bird. Stiller, plenty of time. Good rebound, Henlon.
Big rebound.
Henlon having a magnificent time since the expiry of normal time.
Great play from Martin Henlon here, getting the offensive rebound and powering it back up all in one go. To get the 2 points.
What would this do to a club like Kingston if they could win this?
Well, it'll be a big boost for those younger guys out there playing out there now. Gallus lucky now to get travel call on that one.
The Baridis. Sam Stiller. And still the rebounds going Kingston's way, and Aris in even more trouble without Sobin.
Yeah, that's where Sobin really made his mark there in the second half, Simon, getting some offensive rebounds and getting on the free throw line, drawing fouls.
Oh, they've left Henlon free. And the lead up to 4. Aris cursing to himself. Doing it all. Oh, how? 3. 3 for Gallus. The lead down to 1.
Kingston still trying to run the ball.
Aris up to 36 points. And Henlon again. Magnificent play from Martin Henlon. The lead up to 3. Timeout called by the Aris coach. Lazarus Lecic. They trail by 3. 2:56 left.
Lecic's going to say, hey, you guys know there's this number 13 out there? Somebody's going to have to get on him.
Picks are there, all right? Or here, they got 2 picks with Gallus with the ball. Now, where the defenders at? We got Gallus with the ball. What you guys down here doing? All right? We got to move one of you all up, middle man or baseline man, but you all got to talk to move somebody up to help out. Now, on these picks, let's get this way and push it back to the middle. Don't let it come over the top. All right, so sit in and push it to the middle. The other guy, you got to be ready to get some help on the middle penetration. If he does penetrate, we can go to action right there. All right, let's go. Let's go. 1, 2, 3.
So Martin Henlon has been the dominant factor for Kingston after the expiry of normal time, and there's the basket that he got.
Good ball reversal there from Kingston. He saw the ball come out to Sam Stiller, immediately reversed it to Mike Rivers, who found Martin Henlon open inside. Good ball movement.
Henlon up to 16, the lead up to 3. And still Gallus and Aris have it all to do.
Yeah, Kingston come back out to man-to-man here to cross Aris up a little bit. Or maybe, yeah, maybe it's a...
Liparidis.
They exploited it. Found the old man.
Brad Sellers.
Looks like boxing one there. Pass there to Sellers underneath for the dunk.
Griffiths. Onto the rim, and again a little bit of lack of composure. And Aris could take the lead here. Gallus. Good rebound again. It's Martin Henlon.
Could have been 12 over the back there on a foul. They let it go, though.
Bird. And Sellers sends it out of court.
Yeah, they can't hurry their game, Simon. All right? They get in the half court. If nothing's there, they should just pull it out and run something. Run some time off. Look for a good shot. They don't need to force anything now. They got the 1-point lead.
Alton Bird has Gallus in front of him. Stiller. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. He's going to have to put one up. Way off. There wasn't much on that offense. It looked a little tired, as well it might be. They've been playing at a frenetic pace for around 2 hours now. Gallus.
This 2-3 zone here. He's the man they got to watch. You can see they're setting screens for him on top of the zone there. Trying to shake him loose for a shot.
Aris possession. And a timeout called by Kevin Cadle. Just over a minute left. They lead by 1.
Yo, so this is the deal. We get a rebound, we got the game. All right, we get the ball to Hall, we run the clock. If we get free throw shooters, you got to get up there and concentrate on the main bucket. All right, we want to go push it down the floor, see what the time is, because we want to read the game. If it looks like we need 2 shots. All right, if it looks like we need 2 shots. Now, we just got to read the game. All right, read the game. We go D, you box on Nick. You just stay on Nick. All right, offside, man, we don't want to get too far out from under there. All right, so you got to go all the way down to the corner. Other man is going to come across. All right, so anything on the baseline, we got 3 men on the baseline. Offside man is popping in short middle. That'll be either one of you. All right, let's go, baby. Let's go. We got a D up, shot goes. Everybody got a rebound. If you can't get it, knock it out of there. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Come on, fellas, come on.
Again, an emotive and a constructive timeout from Kevin Cadle.
Yeah,
he wanted to compete this year. They've more than done that, but now they need to win.
Well, that's what they want more than anything. And there they are huddling on the floor, gearing themselves up for this last minute. They're coming out, looks like a box and 1. 4 guys in his own defense with Sam Stiller undoubtedly on Nick Gallus here. He's playing him man-to-man, the other four playing in the box, the zone D, and that's what happened last time they found Sellers open underneath for the basket. So let's hope they played a little bit better this time.
Sellers into the last minute now of the second period of overtime. Romanidis misses, and again with the rebound. There'll be about 15 seconds left after this 30, but Bird going straight away. Does he get a foul? No foul. Gallus beats Romanidis. Gallus again, and Aris in front for the first time in the match. One shot left. One shot. They're 1 point down. It's all on this shot. There'll be no overtime now. Henlon misses, and I think Aris have got it. 8 seconds left.
I'll tell you something, Simon. That last time Alton Bird went down the lane with a ball, 9 times out of 10 there would have been a foul called in there. And he didn't come away with anything, and all that happened was Aris got the ball down for a fast break with Gallus, the man, following up for the 2 points to put him in the lead. So most unfortunate for Kingston there. They had to foul in that situation with only 7 seconds left. All they can do now is hope that Sellers misses this free throw. He's got a 1-on-1, he misses it. They got plenty of time here to get another shot off.
We could have a third overtime.
Well, only if Aris fouls. If
Henlon. They got 5 seconds left. Bird. Cunningham. Yes! Matthew Cunningham.
The referee's counting it.
Aris are trying to pretend that the shot was after the clock. And the referees are being pelted. The referees are being pelted with missiles as they go off the court. But that's the scene that matters. Kingston have won and have beaten Aris by the shot from Matthew Cunningham. The 18-year-old, the first time he's touched the ball in the match, he comes on and he gets a shot from about 12, 14 feet, and Kingston have won. And the referees, thankfully, have got off safely. And Kingston have had a magnificent victory here against Aris. And look at that, there's the coach, so controlled. He's not controlled anymore.
There's one happy man. Oh, great, great.
Here's the moment that mattered. And the ball from Alton Bird. And there's Matthew Cunningham. His first touch of the ball. 18 years old, Matthew Cunningham gets the winner. And that's what Kingston think of it. There's Kevin Cahill's reaction. He's never been as excited in his life.
Oh dear, Kevin Cahill in fine form now. I know that he's going to be the Olympic basketball coach. He should probably be in the Olympic gymnastics team carrying on like that. So there we are. Kingston played 8, 1-2, 10 points, and they're off the bottom. Terrific stuff. Jeff, I don't know where you saw that, but I was actually down there, and it was quite simply the most incredible night I think I've ever experienced.
I mean, those kind of nights are too far between each other, I think, in basketball terms. I mean, it's very difficult to say a team that wins, the team that loses, but it's quite an experience to be involved in something like that. I mean, I get excited watching things like that, especially knowing some of the participants. And I'm sure for the people that were there, it'll be an unforgettable night, especially some of the Greeks.
Well, the Greek team, actually, Salonika, were not terribly happy with the result because they then lodged an objection with the authorities because they said that their player Yanakis, who had had such an effect and been so influential during a normal time, had been sent off and fouled out when he shouldn't have been, that he was actually, that there'd been a miscount. But the authorities quashed the appeal and said that the Greeks should have noticed it at the time and done something about it then, and there was nothing that could be done about it. So the Kingston result stood, and I think what we better do is just have one final look at that dramatic last moment, haven't we?
That's right, I think so.
7 seconds to go.
I mean, Alton does what he does best. He's got to get it up the floor quickly. They're going to key on Alton. He dishes it off to Matt, and probably, hopefully, from my point of view, he doesn't do it against us, but a shot that he'll certainly remember for the rest of his life.
I was going to say, a terrific moment for the young man. It was the first time he'd actually touched the ball in the whole tournament. I think Kevin had just flung him on and said, you ever go?
I think it was the first time he was on the floor, and really what it does say for him is that he has enough confidence in his ability to be, okay, in the right spot at the right time, but he still had to make the shot, and he showed a great deal of composure.
I was going to say, especially when you consider that Sellers at the other end had just had a shot from the penalty line, and he's played NBA, he's been around for donkey's years, and he fluffed it, and then there's young Cunningham.
That's
one
right.
chance, cool as a cucumber.
That's absolutely right. It's a strange thing. You would have bet, or I'm sure the Greeks would have bet on Sellers with his vast experience, and really probably to Cunningham's advantage was the fact he didn't have time to think about it. He was just in a situation, he got thrown into it, and he instinctively reacted, and for Kingston's sake, it was the right instincts.
You think he's going to be some player, young Matthew Cunningham?
I think he's going to be a very good player. I think he's in with a group of good quality professionals and veterans that he can learn the game from. I've seen him now for the last couple of years, and I think he's one of the kids that maybe 10 years from now you'll be sitting here talking about in the same tones as a Gallus and a Yamchi from Israel and things. So hopefully, I think so, yeah.
Okay, right. Well, I said right at the start of the programme that we were going to have a look back at Kingston's campaign in Europe so far, because the Yugoslavs have not managed to record the game between Kingston and Split last Thursday. We have actually managed to find just a little bit of coverage from a single camera stuck away up in the rafters. Let's have a look at it and see what actually happened. This then was Kingston against Split in Yugoslavia. Jeff, what do you see here?
Well, I think we're only really going to get the tail end of the game because maybe because of the players that are on the floor for Kingston, in the sense of Alton's not there, so I would assume the game's over. But it just sort of, the Yugoslavs, I think, are again a European team that are a lot more comfortable at home, and what they do well at home is run, and this is a perfect example here. The transition game is very good.
In fact, Kingston were 42-33 up at one stage just before half-time, and then Martin Clark scored 13 points in the first half, but then had a mare in the second.
Well, yeah, I mean, Martin's an exceptional shooter when things are going well, but he's also an easy player to key on once he is going, because he does shoot the ball very well, probably better than any English player that's playing today, but he is limited with that.
It was Tabak and Kukoc who actually ended up winning the game for Split, and a disappointing result again for Kingston, away to have lost, and in fact they finally went down 91-72, which I think will have disappointed Kevin, because I think he thought probably after that very close game against them at Crystal Palace that they were in with a bit of a shout.
I think so, but I mean, again, it's a question of you're looking at the home court advantage, and again, the Yugoslavs I don't think would take Kingston lightly, having had such a difficult game at Crystal Palace earlier.
So there we are, 91-72, and this is what the table looks like. Kingston still off the bottom, Barcelona still top, and Kingston have to go to Barcelona yet, and Kingston have won too. So they've got a home game coming up. Now that'll be next week, and it'll be against Maccabi Tel Aviv, and they've switched the game actually to Wembley because they've got such interest and demands for tickets. Most of the tickets have sold. I'm told there are just a few left. And if, by any chance, you can't get to Wembley next week, well, make sure you're watching us here on the Sports Channel, because we will be there live 7:30 next Thursday for what should be a great game. How do you reckon they'll approach that one?
I think they'll go after it. I mean, Kevin needs his home games to be in with a chance, and I think the best thing to do would be to attack them right from the start, pressure them, and really try and rattle the Israelis as early as possible in the game. And then once Kingston do get the league, they've gotten much better in their European games at controlling the tempo. And if they can get out early on the Israelis, I think they'll have a good shot at getting their third win in the pool.
Yeah, because I mean, we have to say, don't we, that again, Maccabi have fallen away quite a lot since the trouble in the Gulf broke out, and Kingston at home, they now start to believe in themselves. They've won two. Yeah,
I mean, and it sounds like people might say, well, that's not very good out of 9 games, but again, the quality of their opposition and having been away from home and is very difficult to do. But they've got the Israelis coming in, they've got Limoges coming in, and they've got the Germans coming in. Those are 3 games that they definitely can win. Barcelona and the Italians are going to be extremely difficult for them, but who knows, if they can get a run going, anything's possible.
Now then, I don't like to remind people of things that they've said which they might regret, but there is just this one little quote that we have from you at the beginning of the season, Jeff,
right.
when I think you were on record as saying that Kingston were not a very good side, and they probably wouldn't win the league, and you would fancy your chances against them. Now,
oh, yeah.
Kingston have actually won the league this year, and they have still quite a little way to go yet. They're playing in Sunderland tonight, but it doesn't matter what happens there because they have actually wrapped it up. And they're undefeated, which means that they must have played you, and
they beat us, yeah. Again in a cup final. Now let me talk to you. Let me talk to you about this, Charles.
You've had all evening to work this defence out, so let's hear it.
It's not a defence. They're an extremely, very talented basketball team. Kingston. And now, again, it's a combating experience, and if you look at the Kingston team that they had at the beginning of the year, there are slight changes to some of the personnel, so I can use that as an excuse. Now, what Kevin's done, he's assembled a very good and a very experienced group of players, and under the restraints that he faces, he's done an excellent job with the talent that he has. And again, it swings and roundabouts. We'll be looking to do something maybe at the playoffs in April.
Well, that's very convincing. I guess it's a silly question, but would you like to be in Kingston's shoes? I mean, how much would you like now to start coaching a team in Europe?
I would love it because it gives you a chance to really compete against the elite in basketball in the European continent. Having been a player and played in European competitions, it's a lot of fun. The trips are fun. The games are a lot of fun, although they don't maybe seem like you're enjoying it. And to play in a situation where there's 5,000 people that really inspire you, whether they're home, whether you're at home or you're away, it's an exhilarating atmosphere to play in. It's a lot of fun, and it tests you, and it gives you an opportunity to compare yourself and your abilities to the best. And the sooner we're back in Europe, and the better, as far as I'm concerned. And we'll just have to wait and see.
Now, there is talk, isn't there, of a European Super League, which I guess would help you if you could get in on that act, because at the moment, of course, only the side that wins the Carlsberg League gets into the European Cup. What are your views on this Super League?
I think it's a great idea if it's marketed properly, and really people in England are detracting from it, but I think they're more worried about losing a little bit of their power base. I think it would be good for the sport here in that the teams like Maccabi, Barcelona, two of the better Italian teams would all be coming here on a periodic basis, and it would be good. And the marketing of it and the whole structure. I think English basketball, it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be the actual best teams, but it's going to be the people that are best qualified, maybe off the court.
But do you think? I mean, bearing in mind that we've been talking about the fact that it's fairly little money involved, that English basketball is ready for the big time.
Player-wise, yes. Facility-wise, not yet, but hopefully in the very near future. Marketing-wise, not yet, but hopefully again in the near future. And with anything that's going to be universal throughout the European market, I think you have a greater extent to market, thus attracting maybe the sponsorship, thus attracting the television. So again, it's a chicken and egg situation. Personally, if I would love to be involved in it, I think it would be good for English basketball as well as European basketball. So we'll see.
Well, thank you very much for being our guest, and I'm sorry to have brought up the subject of Manchester's problems against Kingston. Yes, we can say that Kingston are the champions, and we will be at Wembley